From every strand on the line of your reel, to the rods, to the anglers, to the lures on the end of your hook, let's talk about those big bass here on Co-Angler's Corner with your hosts, Rob Welch and John Stoudinger.
Good evening, everybody. This is John.
How y'all are? Cajun Rob here.
All right. Welcome to the show. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. I have a very special guest tonight, and he's not just a friend, but his what he does for people is incredible. I believe he's called the Bearded Rod Building Yoda, and we'll try to bring him on here in a second. We're having some difficulties with our Facebook stuff as usual, but we'll make it. We'll get there. And, well, how about we just bring him on and we'll go from there?
Sound like a winner.
Don?
Let's do it.
All right, Mr. Don Morse with Autism Anglers.
What's happening,
Good
guys?
evening,
Thanks
sir.
for having me on. How are you?
Hey, doing good, Don. How you, sir?
Oh man, it's been a fantastic day. It's Monday, right?
Feels like it. It's been a Monday for me all day long at work. So
Yeah, no, it's great, man. I actually just got back. Me and my adult-sized child just went and had dinner together and got back in time to see you guys. So
awesome. I got two of them. I got a 33-year-old and a 14-year-old, and the 14-year-old is taller than me now, and he outgrew his shoes. I just got him for school. He's got in a size 12 now. I said, well, Dad can't hand you more down shoes. I had 11, so I feel you on that.
He'll be 12 on Monday, and he's as tall as his
man.
mama, and he won't be longer before he's looking me in the eye.
Oh yeah. It blink of an eye, man. Blink of an eye.
Absolutely.
I got both of you beat. I have a 6-year-old that acts 30.
Yeah, I agree with you there. You do. Yeah.
But no, it's all good.
Yep.
Don, I greatly appreciate you coming on the show, talking about your the Autism Anglers and what it stands for and why you started it. So,
Man,
if you don't mind,
greatly appreciate it.
Yep, if you don't mind going through it with us, where did it all start and why it started.
Yeah, for sure, man. So we officially started 6 years ago. This coming Monday, we made it
Cool.
Landon's birthday. It's just kind of a fun thing to do, and he's the inspiration behind the whole thing. So the official launch was 6 years ago. On this coming Monday's the 25th. But it started about a year and a half before that. I've been in the fishing industry my whole life. In fact, I know I've met John at ICAST before. But that's what I've done. I've been in the outdoor sports and fishing, so I know anglers. Once we got the diagnosis that Landon was autistic, I didn't really know where to turn, what to look for. I didn't know anything about it. I didn't have anybody to talk to. So as I was learning, the people that I reached out to, of course, were anglers, because that's what I do full time, and they wanted to know more. And so I just kept telling them more as I was learning, and it just grew from there.
Awesome. Yeah, I know. I reached out to you. I don't know, 4, 5, 6 years ago. I can't remember how long it was.
It was right at the beginning.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm like, hey, would you mind if I used your logo, put your logo on my tournament shirt? And you were gracious enough to let me do that. And then BASS came out with a autism awareness logo. And so I contacted Chris Bowes at the time. I'm like, hey, Chris, I know Don Morse and the Autism Anglers. I go, would you mind if I used your BASS logo that represents the autism awareness? And he's like, nope, we'd be glad if you could. So I use that on my tournament shirts as well. So
yeah, right on. No, they did that for, I know, like Eli Delaney and his in his organization, and being in with a lot of the guys, and that was a great thing that they did there. So
yeah. we appreciate it. You know, we don't. I guess a lot of people take for granted what they have and don't realize the indifferences with people. And but it's great. It's great to see that the world is actually, well, more. I shouldn't say the world because I'm not all over the world anymore. The United States is actually bringing awareness to the spectrum.
Yep.
Different
Oh yeah,
spectrums
absolutely.
of it.
And the more we learn about it, the more people understand and accept. Acceptance is the biggest thing. You hear people talking about awareness, but the thing that we push the most is acceptance because
Yes.
30 years ago when I was in school, nobody knew what autism was except for the movie Rain Man, right? And it has
Right.
nothing. I mean, that is one little portion of the autism spectrum, but looking back at it and what I know now, there were kids in my classes growing up that were probably autistic, and we just labeled them as bad kids or slow kids, whatever. But so as we learn and we can define it a little bit more and help. That's the biggest thing is help. And a lot of states have fantastic programs to do that with, and down here in Florida, absolutely amazing programs, and I know a lot of other states have them as well. So.
Yeah,
definitely.
And I just want to say, Marcos Reyes commented on the show saying, "Such an incredible organization."
Marcos is the man. He's a good friend of mine, actually a co-worker as well. But we've become really close over the years.
Yeah.
Good deal.
Yeah. Now I know. I mean, you've also partnered with some fishing companies as well.
We have. The biggest one is Six Gill. They did a special edition reel for us over the last 3 years. In fact, the third year's reels have gone out already. I think everybody's received those, and some rods too. So, all done up in the colors and getting a lot of awareness out there. I mean, you can't go anywhere on a fishing group without seeing one of those brightly colored, multicolored reels for sure.
Yeah. Yes, and it's a good feeling knowing that people are not just aware but trying to help out as well.
Oh, absolutely. We've had a lot of companies, large and small, step up over the years. American Tackle, one of the premier rod building component companies in the world. Mudhole, now Foundation Outdoor Group. I mean, the list goes on and on and on with the different organizations and companies that just step up and want to help us.
Definitely.
Awesome. Oh.
But you got one of the neatest logos with the puzzle pieces. How'd that come about? Or did somebody design that, or y'all had like a team kind of come up with that? But I think that's really cool design.
Yeah, so I was I was bouncing around in a lot of different ideas, and names really. I was looking at anglers for autism and bouncing things. He said, "Oh, that somebody's already using that one, even though it's this small little organization or whatever." And bouncing names around, that was the hardest part. And finally, I just settled on Autism Anglers. Nobody was using it, and I'm like, let's go for it. Yep. And I'm like, I got to do something different. It started off as just a ribbon with the name next to it. And I think I was doing a Google search one day for autism fish. And I saw this little wooden puzzle. And the wooden puzzle looks identical to that logo. And I showed a picture of it to my graphics guy at work. And I'm like, can you make this into a logo? And within 10 minutes, he had it flattened out, spread out, words across it, and we just rocked it from there. So,
hey, that's great.
That's incredible.
Yeah. We actually, I mentioned a year and a half before how we got our start. Just kind of the ideas and rolling with it. I wanted to make sure that we had everything in place before we went public. So behind the scenes, I was getting the 501c3, getting all the paperwork we needed, getting bank accounts, getting the board members, getting everything fired up. And it's costly. And, my family and I, we can afford to start on our own. So being a custom rod builder, I was actually a member of a bearded brotherhood group, believe it or not. And a lot of the guys on there, and there was, tens of thousands of guys in the group. and I had mentioned it and come out with 12 rods with the logo of that company on it, and numbered them 1 through 12, put their names on them. And that's how we got funded to get the whole thing started. So it was a limited edition of 12 rods. And a lot of the guys are still using them.
Awesome. Now, did you ever go to the rod building convention in Allentown, PA?
Not the one in Allentown. I go to the one in Winston-Salem, North Carolina every year.
Okay. Because I used to go to the one in Allentown. I'm like, man, Don Morse. And before Autism Anglers, I'm like, that name sounds so familiar.
Yeah, well, I actually started Michigan Rod Builders Group. And I was, I knew a lot of the different people from the different small groups around the U.S.
Yeah. I went to a couple of them out at the St. Croix factory out west.
Yeah. Nice. They got a beautiful place up there.
It is. And, you for those of you who don't know much about the St. Croix factory, it's not this huge warehouse. It's not.
Yeah.
It's smaller than the smallest Bass Pro Shops.
And it's in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, it is. But no, so as far as your organization, do you have representatives in every state? How's that working for you?
So no, we're actually based right here in Orlando, and it's we don't have chapters, nothing like that.
Okay.
But we work all over North America. So when we started, our biggest thing was just to spread awareness and acceptance to autism, and that's kind of the direction, and that's still our what we go by. It's our mission statement is spreading awareness and acceptance, but it's grown so much more from there. Within the first 6 months, I had some of the anglers I was telling about autism are like, I've got extra tackle. Do you have somebody you can give it to? And that started our Awesome Anglers program. Now, Janine, my wife, who's also on the board, she kind of runs that whole program and sends out, probably about between 1,500 and 2,000 pounds of tackle every year to autistic anglers all over North America. And that's at no charge at all to the anglers. We pay for everything. We take donations of tackle. We take monetary donations. The fundraiser raffles that we hold, that all goes to those programs like that. Awesome. We get to, we have a lot of donated tackle. We buy a lot of tackle. We even have a Amazon wish list that people buy. So Amazon shows up at the door every day with boxes, and it's like Christmas.
Cool.
We don't know what's in them. So, and the postage and everything is covered by our donors. So every dollar that comes in goes right back out to get those smiling pictures and videos.
That's awesome. Awesome right there.
One of the things we're working on now is I call it the Awesome Fishing Program. It's just getting started. It's probably going to be launched next year. But I'm talking with captains and guides all over the U.S. and Canada, and getting them registered where they can take a small class or an intro to autism and learn a little bit more about it. And then we'll set them up with an autistic angler and a caregiver for a day on the water.
Nice, man. That's great plan there.
Yes, it is. I apologize. I'm sitting here. I'm trying to load some stuff to the screen and everything like that. I'm listening. Danny Gon says, "What's up, guys?"
What's up, Danny? Danny is a fantastic kayak angler down here in Florida. I've gotten to know him over the years as well. He's a huge supporter and a member of the Feel Free Kayak team as well. So.
Oh,
okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
Now, do you sponsor a series?
We don't sponsor a series.
Okay.
We try to fish a little bit ourselves. I've been invited to different things like Feel Free's their fishing team, even though I don't competitively fish. They put me on their promotional team and help them guys out. So I get to know a lot of them that way. And just I try to fish, but the biggest thing is, getting to know the anglers, and they help us spread our mission around.
There we go.
Definitely help awareness and brand awareness. That's awesome.
That's it, man. That's it. And there's nobody better than sportsmen. I mean, like I said, I've been, for the last since 1994. I have been in the outdoor industry, whether it's hunting or fishing, and there's nobody better than sportsmen that want to help.
Okay, that's
Definitely.
true. And Andrew wants to know where in Florida you located at.
We're actually just outside of Orlando. But again, most of what we do is online. But this is where we're located at our home office and shed and garage full of tackle. And we do everything here. But yeah, just outside of Orlando, Florida. We're working on, some outreach events, things like that. It gets a little complicated. Especially through COVID. I mean, it was really, really hard to get out and meet anybody or do anything like that. And then as soon as you start, wanting to have an event with families and special needs kids, then the insurance companies look at you and go, I don't know if you can do that. So, it's one of those things that we're working through, trying to figure out how to have live events in the area. And if I can ever make this my full-time job, travel and do more of it. So
definitely.
Yeah, that is the correct website, I believe, for you. AutismAnglers.org.
.org, you got it.
All right, cool.
That's what I was working on when I was looking at my other computer. And Nate Christensen says good evening. So,
what's up, Nate? Nate's my brother from another mother. He's in the frigid north, but he likes to come down here and chase some largemouth and some peacocks with me. So,
nice.
Can you beat that?
That's right.
Well, I'm from the frigid north as well, but so yeah, I'm in upstate New York. So
gotcha.
Still no snow though. I think Rob down in Kentucky had more snow than I did this year.
Oh, absolutely. And Knoxville had more snow than I did.
Mild.
So
it's been so mild everywhere, man. Except for Florida, it's been so cold here. It was one of our coldest winters, but it's been mild everywhere else.
Yeah, we're getting the cold weather, but so
what got
you? Go ahead. I'm sorry, Rob.
Yeah, it's crazy. I've been through Florida at Coast Snap and have the little smoke pots around the orange groves. You got the little smoke pots going everywhere. So yeah, I've been down there.
Right on.
Yeah. So what got you into fishing?
Man, I can remember being 2 years old, fishing with Dad on the side of the ponds up in Michigan. Catching bluegill big as my head. And that's really where it started. And, I can remember, being 4 or 5 years old and then taking me out first time bass fishing. And it was a family affair. It was my little brother, Dad, Mom, and, no boat or anything, but we were on the side of the ponds up there and there was lots of them, lots of places to go. And that's where it started. And then, later on, as I became a teenager, my best friend's dad and actually my dad's best friend, both kept me going on the water after my dad passed. And they kept me in the woods. They kept me on the water. And, growing up in Michigan, man, I mean, everybody hunts and fishes up there. So
definitely.
Yes. There's not a lot to do up there. So
That's right. That's right. And then from that point on, I mean, my first job was working in a hardware store selling guns and fishing equipment. And, I got hooked on it. Right. And just kept going with it, man. And then I, worked in archery pro shops. I shot professional archery for a while, kept fishing, got into gunsmithing. I mean, if it's in the outdoors, I've done it. I've worked for Bass Pro, worked for Gander, worked for all of them. And it's what I've always done and what I know and what I pride myself of being good at. So
cool.
Dean Lexon wants to know, hoping my Autism Anglers reel brings in some steelhead for me this spring up here in the Mitten.
Right on.
Yes.
You see, yeah, those reels have gone everywhere. I know, in the last 3 years, I want to say they've probably sold over 15,000 of them. So it's been a fantastic thing, and they're inexpensive reels, but they're worth about 3 times as much as you pay for them. So they're amazing low cost reels.
Yeah, and at the price of them, if it's you're not going to break the bank. So if you do bend a handle or something like that, you don't feel so bad getting another one.
Yeah.
And
I have
also a good cause.
I have some good friends that are into reel repair and have torn them apart, and they're blown away at the quality. So, I'm so glad that Justin reached out to us from Six Gill and wanted to partner up, and it's been fantastic ever since.
Yeah. Are they making rods as well for you? Or
they have made some rods. Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, they've made some rods, limited, but that was all pre-order, so they didn't do any rods that were not pre-order. They did the reels that were ready to go. But a lot of custom rod builders around the U.S. have been building a lot of multicolored rods over the last 3 years for sure.
Oh
yes. Yes. I was looking at some of the rods that I built, and each rod builder has like a signature type of thing. And I noticed like most of my spinning reel rods that I built had red and yellow wrap around the guides. It's like, you'd think I'd make them a little bit different so I can decipher what is what.
No, then you get wanting to match all the time. I mean, it's like like going into our wife's closet and everything has to match in there. So we're the same way with our rods.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we don't want to go talk about my wife's closet. Everything is in my wife's closet, my daughter's closet. It's all rainbow order.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yep. So
it's like the cartoon. Your wife sees all the guys' rods and say, "Well, think of them as shoes, honey."
Yeah,
that's pretty
right. Yep. My one of my favorites is the what is it? My biggest fear is when I pass away, she sells everything for what I told her I paid for it.
Yeah.
That's
spot on.
That's not a fear of mine, because once I'm gone, I won't know.
That's true.
Go.
That's true.
That's right. That's right.
No. What else should we cover? We talked about your organization. We talked about what do you have for plans for the future?
Oh man, just growing the organization. That's the hard part. I feel like I work 3 full-time jobs, and I have my 40-hour, and then I build rods in the morning before I go to work, and in the evening, hang out with the family. Try to run the organization. Luckily, Janine does an amazing job with the day-to-day, so she's keeping that going. Touching base with everybody, sending out orders. She's a boxing maniac. She's boxing up and shipping and boxing up and shipping. In fact, we've sent so many boxes over the last 3 years that we wore out a label printer and had to buy a new one. So it's been pretty amazing. But the future is just seeing where this grows. We just want to keep growing it. One day I would like it to I would like to be able to make it a full-time job where it could be big enough to support a family. Okay. We'll just have to see where it goes. But yeah. I don't think we're going to look at chapters anytime soon, but that's a possibility of having chapters. But one of the biggest things is being able to travel and impact different areas of North America for sure. I mean, that's where I'd like to see it. Chapters gets a little dicey, but like I said, if we can travel and impact different areas around North America, that's really a dream of mine.
Yeah. You talk about getting chapters. It's just like the American Legion or the VFW. Even though they have the same principles, they all want to do their own thing.
Yeah, that's hard. I'm a little bit of a control freak, but I love having help too. But it's tough because then you got people using your likeness and doing their own thing. And, I unfortunately in the last 6 years, we've ran into some shady individuals who have, I thought were good people and end up, taking the money and run. And so it's tough. And that's kind of why we've been keeping it close to home and to our hearts. So,
yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. And Will Aaron says, "Hey, glad catch live stream. Glad to have you on." American Angler Outdoors says good evening. That's Alvin. He's a good friend of ours, and this is actually going to be streaming on. I don't know if it's streaming live tonight on his channel, but it will be on the JCX Fishing Channel on the American Anglers Outdoors Network.
Awesome.
Which you can
awesome.
You can download that to your computer, your phone, your TV. And we circle through, or cycle through, I should say, different programs, and he does a phenomenal job on that.
I'll have to check it out.
Yep, great. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Now, have you thought about doing any like presentations to high school and college? I know those teams are really been blowing up last few years.
Yeah, they've been excellent, and we've been having a lot of them reach out. In fact, I checked the email before I came on with you guys, and I don't know if I believe it's a high school team have reached out wanting to use the logo. They have an autistic angler on the team, and the team is behind them, and they want to be able to put the logo on their jerseys. But yeah, I mean that's that's definitely in the plans, is being able to go to these teams, telling them what we're about, and giving them decals to put on the boats. And, we always, if anybody wants to use our logo on their jerseys or on their boat wraps, we have that available. There's absolutely no charge for that. We love seeing it. Like I said earlier, I go to all the trade shows around ICAST and all that, and it's great seeing people walk around with hats and the logo on their jerseys and just, asking questions. In fact, this last year, I had somebody come up to me and said, Patrick Sabile wants to talk to you. I'm like, me? Come to find out, he's got a child on the spectrum. So Patrick and I talked for quite a while. So it was just one of those things. He saw the logo on the hat he was wearing, and he's like, "Tell me more." And so I got called over to talk to Patrick. So it's amazing the people that I get to talk to.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. Yeah, I know I was making some. I own MGM cull tags. And I've had requests for people for multicolored clips because they know somebody that's on the spectrum, or their child is on the spectrum, or whatever. And I do what I can to accommodate. Right on. Yep. But Will Arnett says he reached out via Autism Anglers a couple days ago.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Will sent us a message or an email. I don't remember which. Everything blurs together, but it's amazing. Just having people just reach out and say, thank you for what you're doing. How can I help? And that's one of the biggest questions we get is, how can I help? And the biggest thing that we need is just spreading what we're doing, sharing. We're on Instagram, Facebook, our website. We have a monthly newsletter that goes out the first of the month every month. And just sharing that stuff, spreading the awareness, spreading what we're doing, and just bringing more people in so we can teach them about how amazing that these kids and adults are.
Yes. Yeah. I think it's unfair that, to me, myself, I don't like labels.
Right.
And it's like, oh, well, this person has this. Well, there's different spectrums, that's the way it is. It's spectrums, but it's not everybody should be treated the same.
No, absolutely. No, I mean, and it is a spectrum. It's a wide spectrum, and there's many different levels and types of autism. And, it used to be Asperger's and all these different types, and they've lumped them into one. And it's been a good thing and a bad thing, because, everybody is now just labeled autistic. But the good thing is having all that lumped into one helps with the research and, just and all that. And that's a big thing, because now, you're looking at it and it's like, well, 1 in 200 have this. Well, it's actually, like 1 in 42 boys, are on the spectrum. So it's a little more eye opening, and really helps out with the research and the organizations that are reaching out and trying to help.
Yeah. Yeah. It was, I agree with you. It was nice that they sort of lumped them together, because that way they took more notice of it. And, I don't know. I don't know how to say it, but.
It's definitely. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, bud.
No, it's great, because it is, a lot more people realize that they are affected, or, they have a family member or a neighbor or whatever, and they're really starting to see that. And, we hear stories of it, all the time. And I've even been there, before Landon came around, if I saw a kid having a hard time in a restaurant, I'm thinking in my head, get that kid out of here. What are you doing? Punish it.
Yep.
Don't let him do that. And now it's just one of those things, man. He has made me a different person, and I'm super thankful for it. And now it gives me the opportunity to talk. It's like, you could tell that somebody's struggling, and you can see the signs of autism, and you can step in and say, right there with you. You're doing a great job. And one of the biggest things is being there. And a lot of autism parents, they wear the t-shirts, things like that. My wife, I mean, she's got a whole closet full of autism awareness t-shirts, and I'm not that guy, but I went full on, so
Awesome.
I can I can show it, so if I step in, they see it, and it's like, it's that calming, that understanding that I can show to other parents, and even adults that are on the spectrum, if they're having a hard time. So
yeah, like you said earlier, back when we were younger, it was looked at as a disobedient child or bad parenting or whatever. But and Will says, as the logo says, different, not less.
Absolutely.
I agree.
Different, not less. And a couple of one that I really love is if you've met one person with autism, you've only met one person with autism, because everyone is different.
Oh, and, yeah, absolutely.
We've got Landon into a couple different things now. A special needs martial arts class and a special needs soccer team. And it's wild and fun seeing all the different levels working together and working with their instructors, and what they can do, and what frustrates one, maybe not the other. Different personalities, different nonverbal versus Landon is overly verbal, like he won't quit talking. So you see all of them, and seeing all of them in one room, and it's really eye-opening, and it just makes you smile.
Yeah, it is. To answer Andrew's question, is American Anglers Outdoor Networks? Yes, we are. That's what we are streaming on, and that is what Al with the Gray Goat Lures did start that. Yes.
Yep. Oh yeah. Definitely.
And I believe he also has an online tackle shop with Gray Goat. So Andrew says, I raised a boy with a high functioning autism. Definitely had challenges when he was younger, but he's successful now.
Nice.
Great story.
That's awesome to hear. Awesome to hear. I believe with the love and compassion, everybody can be successful.
Oh, absolutely. So a few years back at ICAST, I had I went by a booth, and I had met a gentleman my age on the spectrum, and he was an inventor, and really smart with electronics, and he invented one of the first wireless Wi-Fi padlocks that I saw for locking up kayaks and boats.
Oh, wow.
And it was amazing listening to him talk. I mean, he left me in the dust with his, everything he was talking about with electronics and tracking. And I was just like, yeah, I want my son to be like you.
Oh yeah.
It
was absolutely amazing. So
Andrew's saying awesome. He still has some of Al's spinner baits. I think Al might be coming out with some more spinner baits, so keep tuned, check it out. And Dean Lexon says, even parents of children on the spectrum can't understand fully. We just need to accept they're struggling more than we realize. Every behavior is communication.
Yep.
That's absolutely right. I mean, I still, Landon and I still butt heads quite often, Janine has to step in and go, stop. It's like, yeah, I got it, so, but again, he's changed my life for the better. I wouldn't want him to be any other way. And he's definitely, he's an amazing, amazing young man.
Awesome. What is the best way for people to reach out to try to assist you and help you with this?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're on, like I said, we're on all the social media. You can't type in Autism Anglers anywhere on the World Wide Web without coming across us immediately. Autism Anglers on Facebook, Autism Anglers on Instagram, our website, autismanglers.org. You can reach us at Autism Anglers at yahoo.com, at google.com. We got them both, but just get on the social media train. And I know I hate Facebook too, but it's a great way to spread our missions, and it's a platform where we can share and reach a lot of people. We hit over 10,000 people last year, and still growing. Just sharing that, sharing our fundraisers. It looks like we've been having a lot of those lately, but we run out of money, and when we run out of money, the boxes stop. So we just keep pushing forward. We don't do any government grants. If somebody's a grant writer and wants to help out, contact me, because I wouldn't mind getting some government grants. It's just not anything that I have the patience for. So we're looking for things like that. We're looking for people to, if you're a social media expert and have some ideas on how to grow the social media, I'd love to talk to you as well. If you're an angler, we'd love for you to have our logo on your boat and on your jersey. So spreading the word, man. We're out there everywhere.
Yeah, just contact Autism Anglers via, like you said, their social media sites, and he'll definitely get you with the logo for you.
Absolutely.
Andrew Pulliam says, I have a picture on the MLF website when he was a co-angler in a Toyota with Al spinnerbait.
Awesome.
So, I'll be back in a second.
All right.
It's funny he mentioned that picture. Actually, I've got a buddy that works at Bass Pro Shops. He's in the marketing team at the home office, and he sent me a picture from the walleye championship last year. Somebody with the logo on their jersey, and he's like, "Check this out!" So going across the stage at the national championship. So it was cool.
Man, that's awesome. Now talking about how you're talking about anglers can send you like baits and stuff for the kids and autism. Kind of specify that. How do you go about doing it? Because I know my wife would like to ship a lot of my stuff to you for sure.
Absolutely. We've got a garage and a shed full right now. Some of the biggest things that we're needing are fishing line, things like that. But we accept all donations. We prefer new in box, but if we'll take gently used equipment, mostly tackle, hard baits. We always have an overabundance of soft baits, but hard baits, terminal tackle, new spools of fishing line. We can share all that. So I've got rods and reels. Reels are tough because most of them are shot. Rods are tough because they're hard to ship because they're so long. So we keep going with our 2 pounds of tackle to the kids and adults, and like I said, it's absolutely no charge to receive a box. So if you got a loved one on the spectrum, go on to autismanglers.org, go to the Awesome Anglers page, fill out a really easy application, and we will get a box of tackle out to them.
Cool deal.
Andrew Pulliam says, I support you guys. Look forward to it.
Thank you so much.
You may be getting a box of hard baits for me. I might have a couple of them. And Dean Lexon says, do you offer patches? You'd love to add them on his vest or his creel.
Man, I appreciate that. We've had, over this last 6 years, I think we've had 3 people ask for patches. So, that's a tough one to, to fork out the money to try to get, because you got to buy like 100 patches. 3 people have asked. We've looked into it. It's not out of the, it's an option going forward for sure. So, we keep expanding. Everybody wants, the logo gear, hats go really, really well. We keep those going. Decals go really well. We've always got those in stock, and, we play around with some other things here and there.
And American Angler Outdoors says, same here. I can put a box of hard baits together for you guys.
Awesome. Yeah, just reach out to us on the website or social media. We'll shoot you the address, and when it gets here, we get everything sorted out and reboxed.
Awesome.
All right. Now, if someone wanted, like I can't remember his name, mentioned a patch, they could get the logo from you and take it to an embroiderer, and they could convert it, because most embroiderers nowadays
I have embroidery files too. So, I've shared that with some folks as long as it's not being used to make money on their end. I have no problem sharing all that. We've had other people that wanted to use our logo, make hats to sell, and then give us a donation. And we don't allow that kind of thing, of course, because we can't control where the money goes. But yeah, I mean, if somebody wanted to, if you wanted to embroider it on your fly jacket or whatever, we could definitely set you up with that.
Sweet.
Yeah, those donations are great.
Yeah, exactly. Seen a lot of those come and go.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I have a hard time keeping track of them because we have, so many people reach out and, they have a good heart and, we're going to hold a tournament for you and keeping track of everybody, coming and going has been tough over the years. But, most people have been, really, really generous.
Yes,
Absolutely.
they are. And it's amazing how many people, if you watch the news, it's all negative.
Yeah.
Of course, negativity sells. All right. Causes drama, causes conflict.
Mm-hmm.
But how many positive people there are, how many people that are out there willing to help you is incredible.
Oh, absolutely.
And Kevin McGibney with K&K Customs, he's at the Classic supporting a couple of his anglers. He just wanted to say hi and say he's here with us. So
right on.
He'll be a guest on in another month or so.
Right on. Yeah. Actually, one of a great supporter, F5 Custom Rods, is his first booth there at the Classic this year. Back in the day, he had built a small line of autism awareness rods, and he does great and been a good friend over the years. Again, one of those guys that has been there since the beginning.
Sweet.
Yep. Now, didn't you raffle off a couple of his rods?
He raffled off a couple of them. Yep. We've had, several different ones over the years. Mark Krause, one of the best rod builders in the world, has given us some rods. Derek Beamer from Bald Guy. I mean, it's just, the custom rod builders from all over have just stepped up and are like, I want to build one for you. Here it comes. And, we definitely put them to good use and, raise as much as we can for the programs and, give the builder a good shout out, and some of them have received a little business from it as well. So it's you scratch our back, we'll scratch yours kind of thing.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, it's incredible how many people out there that are willing to assist.
Oh, absolutely. And we hear from small mom and pop bait companies too. Like different they build spinners, things like that. We'll have a box of jigs show up from different companies from around the US and in Canada even that not a lot of people know of. It may be a regional company, but they're more than willing to help out, and we make sure that those get dropped in all the boxes.
Awesome. Great to hear. Wow, we're almost 45 minutes into this
already.
Oh yeah, time flies, man. That's one thing about podcasts. It just zoop.
And
I don't mind talking about myself.
We haven't even talked about fishing.
Right.
But no, this is a special show for us. We didn't really intend to talk too much fishing on here, but so the bearded Yoda, how did that come about?
Man, I have been building custom rods for 30 years now. And,
wow.
I've taught a lot of people to build rods, and I've taught some of my coworkers how to build. And they're like, man, you're like the bearded Yoda. And it's just stuck over the years. And, even Mark Krause, the Munich rod man, who's, won, I don't know how many championships with custom rod building. He called me Yoda today. So it made me feel pretty good. But,
awesome.
There's not too many mistakes in rod building I haven't made and learned from. And, I'm fortunate where I get to work with rod builders and rod companies every day and, helping them grow, work through problems, work through issues, designing rods, helping tweak designs. It's pretty amazing. So, I just live and breathe rod building and autism awareness, man. That's who I am.
Don't know if you can see that. It's a custom
Yep.
rod
Right
builder's
on.
patch.
That's
Yep.
old school right there.
Yes,
That
it
is
is.
old school. That
Yep.
was before they became the guild.
It
Yeah.
is. Yes,
Yep.
sir. And
So I actually
have.
I
I
work with
want to.
member number 1.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, Bob McCamey, member number 1.
Yep. Jack Lowry. He actually taught me how to build rods.
Right
And
on.
when he before he passed, he gave me every one of his Rod Crafters magazines, and I
Oh,
think
yeah.
I'm missing like 2 or 3 out of the couple hundred that they produced.
The little black and white
Yep.
ones.
Yeah,
Yeah.
little
Yeah.
black.
I've got
Yeah,
a few of those floating around.
they're like a 8.5 inch or 8.5 paper folded in half.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
Now with the internet, that kind of stuff is dying off, but
Yeah.
Yes.
you know, there's a lot of rod building info out there.
Yep. I still have a couple of things that he had given me, in the past, and certain things are sentimental that I won't get rid of.
Oh yeah. I mean, some of my best friends in the world now, have come from, rod building, have come from, going to the rod shows, the Michigan Rod Builders Club that I started, and even, down here in Florida, working with the different teams and different companies. I mean, the friendships are really, really amazing.
It is. And it's amazing how many of these people reach in their pocket and, their cost for a rod, maybe $500-$600, and just
Oh yeah,
say, here, raffle this off, try to raise some money for you.
absolutely.
Yes. So, I'm stumbling over words today. I must be thinking with my Southern brain.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, that's not good. I don't know.
Donna,
It's gone. It's gone.
yes. Donna, you've done any shows or had like a display at any like tackle shows or expos or anything?
So that's one of the things that we definitely, want to do as we grow. I'd love to, love to be at some of the big shows, like the
Yep.
ICAST and all around.
Oh yeah.
Normally I'm working my full-time job at those.
Yep.
But we do a lot of local events, some street fairs, things like that.
Okay.
We try to hook up with some of the local clubs. We have a beautiful merchandise trailer that we picked up from a nonprofit organization I used to work with that worked with vets with PTSD. So we take that around and spread the word on what we're doing. But like a lot of it's been local events,
Right.
But again, as we grow and maybe eventually get a reliable truck to pull it around with, we'll keep on going. And like I said, eventually, I would love to see this become a full-time gig and where I can travel around and we can travel and hit all the shows. Great thing, Landon is getting older. He's also homeschooled, so we can do all that on the road. But
Sweet.
yeah, I mean, we love doing that kind of thing. We have a lot of local groups or therapy centers and colleges that have autism programs, and we just try to support them and go to their events. So we've set up at a few of those and work with them as well. So this last Christmas we did one called Christmas Around the World. We were able to set up and we were Australia, so we had crocodiles and in a little fishing game, and I don't remember how many families, like 700 families that came through, and
Oh
got to
wow.
learn about a little bit about fishing and just have a good time. So
That's
Absolutely.
incredible. Mike Gutierrez says, I'm so happy for what you stand for, what you teach. My twins have autism and love being out there with me.
that's awesome, man. It is. It's therapy, and that was one of
Absolutely.
that was one of the things that gave me the idea. Is working with that vets group, and they were actually building rods with the vets, and then taking them out fishing with the rods the next day.
Yes.
Oh wow.
And seeing the way that it rewired their brains, you saw the PTSD, the frustration, in the class, and then you got them on the water, and they were a complete different person. And I thought, as I was learning about autism, I'm like, wait, fishing is therapy. You know, it's therapy for us is, you know, neurotypicals, but seeing somebody with PTSD or with autism or whatever they're struggling with, just forget about life for a while. Just get out, fish, get the fresh air, and you know, just forget about it. And it's amazing what happens when you're on the water.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's what fishing is for me. It's, you know, a chance to get away from life. You know?
Absolutely.
I'm not saying I have a bad life or anything like that, but all my problems disappear when I'm out there fishing.
Oh yeah.
It's funny too, because people are always asking, you know, I mean, I run Autism Anglers. I love to fish, and everybody, you know, they're like, well, Landon must love going out with you. And you know what? He can't stand fishing, so he's got his
It
own
happened.
thing, and we don't
Yep.
push him. But you know, I always tell him, I'm like, if you want to go, just tell me. You know, we're there. So, you know, maybe one day he'll get hooked on it, but you know, we're not pressuring him to do so.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Smart plan right there.
All right.
Yeah.
Now I do have a serious question for you.
All right.
All right. What is your favorite homemade cookie?
My favorite homemade cookie, peanut butter.
Good choice.
Well,
Absolutely. My
asking
wife
that
is an
question-
amazing baker.
Same here. Me asking that question allows me to sleep in the bedroom tonight.
There you go. I love it.
No, my wife's a baker as well, and her and I used to host a podcast a couple years ago, and that was the one question she would ask everybody.
Yep.
There you go. Yeah, peanut butter, but with the little kiss on top.
Oh, there you go. Now you're talking. Now.
You know what? You can have the cookie. I'll take the kiss.
Yep. There you go.
I'm not a peanut butter cookie guy.
Oh man.
So, good stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. I have friends that, you know, when I go fishing, doing tournaments and stuff with them, they're like, can you bring me some peanut butter and chocolate chip cookies or oatmeal raisin or whatever?
Sticker doodles.
Yeah, that was last week.
Like 4 or 5 in a row. I remember. That's crazy.
Yeah, that was crazy. Like everybody picked
Nice.
up a snickerdoodle cookie. I'm like, oh well.
Yeah, they're all
Now,
good.
It's just. Oh yeah, they are.
Now, if somebody wanted to donate stuff to you, how would they go about it? Just go to your website or?
Yeah, go to the website or you know, hit us up on social media. We'll shoot you the address. So you know, if you have something physical, you know, if you want to give a monetary donation, we'll give you the address for a check. We take PayPal. You know, it's all out there. We have you know, links on all of our pages for donations, and that helps out a lot. You know, and we love getting tackle. Sometimes we have an overabundance, but one thing that a lot of people don't realize is it costs us about $10 to send every box. So, you know, in that, so the monetary donations, they go to, you know, the boxes, the postage, the tape, the labels, you know, it all gets spoken for sure.
Absolutely.
You don't think of the small things, you know?
It's amazing. You know, just buying a ream of paper nowadays to print out receipts, you know, it's like, it all adds up.
Yeah.
You know, when your red ink runs out on your printer, you know, and it won't print anything anymore, you know, so you got to buy more ink. So it adds up so fast.
I used to run a small daily paper, and it cost me like $50 $52.99 a day for paper.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, it's and you know, that's not including the ink and the everything else.
Oh yeah,
Dean Lexman wants to know if you offer the Autism Angler rods and any other length outside of 7 foot. He would love a 5'6" ultralight.
Yeah, so the ones that we have listed on the website are just some rods that we picked up from a local company and actually had them customized with the autism splatter. So not custom rods at all, not anything that we have ordered, but they're only available in the 7 foot. We're doing them in the spinning because that's way more popular than the casting.
Yeah.
As far as the ultralight, that would be more of like a custom design. I personally build custom rods. I mean, you know, John builds custom rods. I mean, there's a lot of people all over the U.S. that builds custom rods. it can definitely build you the ultralight to match and with the autism theme. So it's possible. Not anything that we're going to order in, but they're out there.
If somebody wanted to get a custom rod from you to represent Autism Anglers, how would they go about doing that?
You can reach out to me on the Autism Anglers social media. That's a good way to do it. I've got a little social media page. I don't build and sell a lot of rods anymore. I still build a lot of rods, but I don't do a ton of customs. But I can get you over to that page, but I'm not going to advertise that today.
There you go.
Gotcha.
Yep, that's fine. But no, just reach out to Autism Angler, and I'm sure Don will get in touch with you and give you the proper information so you can get one done for him.
And if I can hook you up with a builder in your area, I mean, I've got access to, over 100,000 builders all over the world.
Wow.
I can set you up with a local builder that can build your rod. So,
yeah, nice. We're at about 56 minutes in. I want you to take this last couple minutes and just talk about your program, some of the things that you do, some of the things you have coming up, and just whatever you want to say.
All right. Well, first of all, I want to thank you guys very much for having me on. I know we talked about this back in December. It's been a long wait to get on. We're celebrating our 6th anniversary next Monday. So we've been doing it officially for 6 years, as well as little man's 12th birthday is Monday. So that's
Awesome.
great. Thank everybody for the support over the years. Check out autismanglers.org. That'll kind of fill you in. Sign up for the newsletter. I send that out. I try to do it every month. Janine has to sometimes, beat me in the back of the head to get it done. But we send out a small newsletter every month, just telling, what we got going on, what we've done. We'll put specials in there. Like we just released an Autism Awareness Month t-shirt that we took pre-orders for. Those are getting printed right now, so we can have those mailed out for April. Just keep an eye on social media. That's the biggest thing, growing that social media. And I want to thank everybody for their support. We really can't do it without you.
Absolutely.
Dean said he'll reach out to you, sir.
Awesome. Thanks, Dean.
Yeah, as we were talking about before, I'm running 2 computers here, and I'm going through some of the stuff that you sell on your website. There's some nice stuff on there.
I appreciate that. Yeah, we try to reach out, and we don't want to do it cheap for sure. That everything we do is high quality. Even those rods that we've got on there, and even one of the things I came out with on there, you might see, is the lanyard, the rod lanyard. One of the things I've had people coming out for me, my kid threw his rod in the water, or he cast it, and every time he cast it, he lets go, and there was nothing on the market. So I grabbed some, things I had laying around, little paracord, and I made some rod lanyards, and those things have been super popular.
Cool.
And I kick those out when I have a few minutes and try to save rods. One of my buddies, his son is not on the spectrum, but he's just a little guy, and threw over. He wanted to fish with Dad's rod, and he tossed it over, and it was like a $600 rod and reel combo. So I'm like, we need to do something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Al with the American Angler Outdoors Network says he'll reach out next week. He's leaving for a show in North Carolina. Thanks, Al.
Right on.
And I'll be reaching out to you too, because I'm looking at the fishing rod decals.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and again, another great company, Decal Connection up in Tennessee. Every year they send us a packet of the rod decals that we can, sell to, earn money to fund the program. So if you ever need decals, man, Chuck and Debbie at Decal Connection are absolutely amazing, huge supporters of what we do. And that's where those come from. So they are the highest quality rod decals, in the world.
Okay.
Awesome.
Rob, you got anything else you want to talk about?
No, I think Don covered it all, but I'm glad to see you growing, man, and happy anniversary and happy birthday to the big guy.
I appreciate that.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Don. I'll get in touch with you later on, and make sure we can get you on again after maybe after a couple months down the road, get you on again, talk about the progress and things like that. And
I'd appreciate that. And anybody that's watching, if you have a podcast, I love doing them. Hit me up. I'll be on. So
yes, awesome. All right,
absolutely.
Well, thank you very much, sir. Have a good night, and you take care.
Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate it, Don. Have a good night.
You as
Keep
well.
everything going strong.
Yeah.
Thanks.
All right, take care, sir. Wow.
Great guy, man. He's got a lot of irons in the fire for sure.
Yes, for sure. I kind of felt bad because I couldn't even put a sentence together.
It's been one of those weeks, brother. I know the feeling.
Yeah, it is. I mean, that between that and I was looking at his website and whew, they have some really nice looking stuff on there.
Yeah, I got a big black motorcycle helmet I wear fishing, when I'm blasting down, the water's not hitting me in the hail, sleet. So I'm about to put a big Autism Anglers decal on my helmet. I can see that already.
Yeah, they have some boat decals too.
Sweet.
And here's something you need. Are you ready for this one?
I'm ready.
Bobber earrings.
I could wear one. Yeah, I'll be fashionable then.
You could put one in your nose,
my ear maybe. I don't know.
All right,
man. Well, hey, it's a great show, and I thank everybody for commenting and tuning in, and sure do appreciate it. Like I said, go hit up autismanglers.org, and check them out.
Yes, sir. Awesome. Well, thank you very much, Rob. Have a good weekend. Take care and tell the missus we said hello.
All right, you too. Tell the girls I said hey, and y'all have a good one.
All right. Take care, sir.
Peace out.